Have your legs started to feel heavier as the years go by? What if the root cause isn't age, but a missing nutrient? There's one secret vitamin that could quietly transform how your legs feel and function, starting today. As we age, it's not unusual to notice a loss of strength or energy in the legs. Walking becomes more tiring, your steps feel slower, and even standing for long periods can be uncomfortable. But what's really going on beneath the surface? Many people don't realize that over time, our arteries naturally begin to narrow. The blood vessels that once carried oxygen-rich blood efficiently become less flexible. This reduced circulation, especially in the lower limbs, isn't just inconvenient. It can increase your risk for more serious problems like blood clots, varicose veins, or even peripheral artery disease. Here's the encouraging news. Science has shown that certain vitamins can actually support your vascular system. These nutrients help relax blood vessels, strengthen the walls of your arteries and veins, and improve the delivery of oxygen throughout your body. When circulation improves, your legs start to feel lighter, stronger, and more capable, helping you stay active and independent longer. In this video, we'll uncover 5 powerful nutrients that are backed by research, not hype. These aren't trendy supplements or guesswork remedies. They're practical, natural tools that work with your body, not against it. You'll learn how each vitamin plays a specific role in restoring healthy blood flow and reducing leg discomfort. And if you're over 55 or caring for someone who is, this information could be a game changer. Because sometimes, what feels like just getting older is actually your body asking for the right kind of support. Let's begin with number 1, vitamin K2, a nutrient that's often overlooked, yet essential for keeping your blood vessels in good shape, especially in the legs. While many people have heard of vitamin K, few know about the specific benefits of K2. This form of the vitamin plays a unique role in a very different role inside your body, and when it comes to aging and circulation, that role becomes even more essential. Why is that? As we grow older, calcium doesn't always go where it's supposed to. Instead of staying securely in the bones, where it's needed most, it often begins to drift elsewhere. One of the most common places it settles? The arteries, particularly those in the legs. When calcium deposits there, it hardens the vessel walls, narrowing the pathways through which blood flows. This leads to a condition known as arterial stiffness. Imagine an old garden hose that's been left out for years. Over time, mineral buildup clogs the inside, making water trickle through instead of flowing freely. The same thing happens inside your body. Your arteries become less flexible, and blood struggles to move efficiently, especially to your lower limbs. That's where vitamin K2 comes into play. This nutrient acts like a traffic controller in your body, guiding calcium to the bones, where it strengthens them, and away from the arteries, where it would cause damage. Without enough K2, calcium tends to accumulate in your artery walls, particularly in the legs. This buildup doesn't just reduce blood flow, it forces your heart to work harder to push blood through those narrowed, stiffened vessels. But when vitamin K2 is present in adequate amounts, it helps keep those arteries soft, open, and elastic. That means better circulation, less strain on your heart, and improved delivery of oxygen and nutrients to the tissues in your legs. This function becomes especially important for older adults. Research has shown a clear connection between low K2 levels and a higher risk of cardiovascular events, including heart disease and poor circulation. One study, published in the Journal of Nutrition, found that people with higher K2 intake had significantly less arterial calcification, particularly in those over the age of 60. Their blood was able to flow more easily through the body, reaching the legs and other extremities with fewer obstructions. To help you visualize the impact, imagine a man named Harold. He's 76 years old, lives in Missouri, and for years, he assumed that his leg cramps and constantly cold feet were just part of getting older. Like many people his age, he figured it was something he simply had to live with, but everything changed when he started working with his doctor and learned about the power of vitamin K2. He decided to make a simple change: adding K2 into his daily routine. He did this primarily through natto, a traditional Japanese fermented soy food, along with a high-quality K2 supplement recommended by his doctor. Within just 3 months, Harold noticed something remarkable. His legs didn't feel as tight during his morning walks. The aching calves that used to wake him up in the middle of the night? Gone. Was it some miracle cure? Of course not. It was science, and more importantly, a better understanding of what his body had been missing for years. Now you might be wondering where you can get vitamin K2. The richest natural food source is natto. But let's be honest, not everyone enjoys the strong taste or sticky texture of fermented soybeans. That's why so many people, especially those over 70, turn to a trusted K2 supplement instead. The most effective form is known as MK7, which stays in your bloodstream longer and gives your body more time to use it effectively. Of course, it's always smart to speak with your healthcare provider before starting any new supplement, especially if you're currently taking blood thinners. But for many, adding K2 is a safe, simple, and impactful decision. Remember, improving your circulation doesn't mean changing everything at once. It's about taking small, informed steps, and adding vitamin K2 may just be one of the smartest steps you can take toward keeping your blood vessels healthy and your legs feeling strong, steady, and comfortable as you age. Now let's move on to number 2, vitamin D3. This is a nutrient you've probably heard of before, mostly in connection with bone health or immune function. And while those are certainly vital, what many people don't realize is that vitamin D3 also plays a major role in how your blood vessels work, especially in the lower parts of your body. When your D3 levels dip too low, your circulation can begin to decline, quietly yet significantly. It often starts without obvious symptoms, but over time, the effects can be felt in very real ways. One of the key players in this process is vitamin D3, which has a direct impact on the endothelium, the thin, sensitive inner lining of your blood vessels. This lining isn't just a passive wall between blood and tissue. It's incredibly dynamic. It actively communicates with the rest of your circulatory system, releasing chemical signals that tell your arteries when to relax and when to constrict. When vitamin D3 levels are healthy, this signaling process functions smoothly. Your arteries remain responsive, adjusting as needed to help blood flow freely. But when your body becomes deficient in D3, the endothelium doesn't work as efficiently. It becomes less responsive, almost sluggish. As a result, your blood vessels remain more constricted, reducing flexibility and narrowing the pathways your blood needs to travel. The effect is especially noticeable in the extremities, the calves, feet, and toes, where blood already has the longest distance to reach. For older adults, this is more than just a minor issue. It's a common and growing concern. Studies have found that individuals over the age of 70 are significantly more likely to be deficient in vitamin D3. And that deficiency is strongly linked to reduced peripheral circulation. One large-scale study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition uncovered a striking connection. Older adults with low D3 levels were much more likely to experience leg pain during walking, an early sign of compromised blood flow. The researchers noted that supplementing with vitamin D3 could help reduce vascular stiffness and improve walking performance in aging populations. To bring this to life, let's look at the story of Janet. She's 82 years old and lives in Oregon. Janet had always been an active woman. She loved tending to her garden, walking her small dog twice a day, and volunteering at her local church's thrift store. But in recent years, she noticed that her stamina wasn't what it used to be. She found herself needing to rest more frequently during walks. Her legs would start aching far sooner than before, and after a simple trip around the block, she'd return home feeling like she had just finished a steep uphill hike. Her doctor ran a series of tests, including checking her vitamin D levels. And sure enough, her vitamin D levels were low, very low. That deficiency explained a lot of what she had been feeling. So, under her doctor's guidance, Janet began taking a high-quality D3 supplement and made it a habit to spend a bit more time outdoors each day, soaking in natural sunlight. Over the next several weeks, things started to shift. She didn't describe the change as miraculous, but rather as something subtle and steady. It felt like her body was returning to the way it used to be. She was able to walk farther without needing to rest. Standing for longer periods became easier. The stiffness in her legs began to fade. Adding vitamin D3 isn't about jumping on a wellness trend or chasing quick fixes. It's about giving your body something it truly needs, a nutritional foundation that supports healthy circulation and restores physical energy. Because when blood flows freely through your legs, even the smallest daily tasks feel less like a burden. Getting up from a chair, taking the stairs, walking to the mailbox. These simple actions, often taken for granted, become more manageable, more comfortable, and even enjoyable again. If you've made it this far into the video and found these insights helpful, I'd love to know you're still with us. Go ahead and drop a comment with the number 2 below. And if you haven't already subscribed, now's a great time. Just click subscribe and tap the bell so you never miss a future episode. Your support keeps this channel going and allows us to keep sharing content that empowers and informs you. Now, let's move forward to something equally important: vitamin C. When people hear vitamin C, most immediately think of citrus fruits, immunity boosts, or avoiding a seasonal cold. And while those are valid associations, vitamin C also plays a critical role that many people overlook, especially when it comes to leg health and circulation. You see, as we grow older, our blood vessels face years of wear and tear. They're constantly expanding and contracting to move blood throughout the body, especially downward to the legs, where gravity works against circulation. Over time, this repetitive stress can weaken the vessel walls, leading to stiffness, poor elasticity, and even tiny micro tears. This is where vitamin C steps in as a quiet yet powerful ally. One of its most important functions is supporting the production of collagen, a structural protein that helps reinforce the strength and flexibility of blood vessels. And flexibility to your blood vessels. Without enough vitamin C, your arteries and veins can lose their natural resilience. They become more brittle, less elastic, and more vulnerable to damage. This is especially true in the legs, where blood has to travel the farthest distance from the heart and return uphill, so to speak. When those vessels weaken, the result can be sluggish circulation, swelling, and even the appearance of varicose veins. If you've been noticing that your legs feel heavier by the afternoon, or that there's a dull, achy fatigue that creeps in after only mild activity, your body could be trying to tell you something. It may not just be age, it might be a lack of the vascular support your system truly needs. And vitamin C could be a critical missing link. But vitamin C isn't only about collagen. Its power goes even a deeper. It's one of the strongest natural antioxidants your body relies on to combat inflammation and oxidative stress, two of the main drivers behind aging blood vessels. When inflammation sets in, the walls of your arteries can no longer expand and contract properly. They stiffen, narrow, and struggle to deliver blood effectively. That inefficiency leads to a shortage of oxygen and nutrients reaching the muscles in your legs. The result? Walking, climbing stairs, and even standing for extended periods starts to feel more difficult than it once did. Movements that were once effortless now require more energy and cause more fatigue. One fascinating study from the University of Colorado demonstrated that older adults who took vitamin C supplements daily showed measurable improvements in blood vessel dilation, essentially how well the vessels could expand to allow better blood flow. Incredibly, the benefits were comparable to those typically seen from moderate walking exercise. Now, that doesn't mean vitamin C can replace the need for physical activity, but it does highlight just how essential this vitamin is in keeping your circulation working the way it should. Take George, for instance. He's 79 and lives in Minnesota. For much of his life, he stayed active, biking along local trails, fishing with friends, and volunteering at a neighborhood animal shelter. But in the last few years, he noticed a shift. His legs began to feel heavier, like he was dragging weights in with each step. He chalked it up to getting older, until a routine checkup with a nutritionist revealed something surprising. His vitamin C levels were much lower than recommended. George hadn't been eating many fresh fruits or vegetables, and he wasn't taking any supplements at all. His daily meals were mostly cooked foods, with little focus on produce. But after just a few weeks of making simple changes, like adding oranges, red bell peppers, and a gentle, buffered vitamin C supplement, George began to notice a real difference. By the end of the day, his legs didn't feel as heavy or drained. That dragging fatigue that once greeted him every evening, it started to lift, and those early morning walks, which had become such a struggle, suddenly felt manageable again, almost enjoyable. The good news is, getting more vitamin C into your routine isn't difficult. You'll find it naturally in foods like oranges, strawberries, broccoli, bell peppers, and even tomatoes. These everyday ingredients can quietly support your vascular health without requiring a major diet overhaul. However, for many seniors, especially those who don't eat a lot of fresh produce or who are juggling multiple health conditions, a daily vitamin C supplement can be a smart way to help fill the gap. Just make sure to choose a form that's easily absorbed and gentle on the stomach. And as always, it's wise to check with your healthcare provider first, especially if you're taking medications or have sensitive digestion. What makes vitamin C such a remarkable nutrient is how it supports both the structure and function of your blood vessels. It's like upgrading the pipes in your house while also boosting the water pressure. They become stronger and more efficient. And when circulation improves in your legs, you really begin to feel it. You walk farther without fatigue. You stand taller without soreness. You move more freely and with greater confidence in your body's ability to support you. This isn't about reversing time. It's about helping each day feel just a little lighter, a little stronger, and a lot more enjoyable. Now let's talk about another underappreciated nutrient. Vitamin B3, also known as niacin. It's often overlooked, quietly doing its job in the background. But when it comes to enhancing blood flow, especially in the legs, vitamin B3 might just be one of the most powerful tools available. It's not flashy, and it rarely makes headlines. But what it can do for your circulation, particularly after age 70, is truly worth your attention, that no one should ignore. Niacin plays a key role in helping blood vessels expand, a process known as dilation, which allows more blood to reach the muscles and tissues that need it most. This is especially valuable for seniors, many of whom spend long hours sitting or experience cold, cramping legs. In cases like these, improved circulation isn't just helpful, it can be life-changing. Here's how it works. Niacin helps your body produce nitric oxide, a natural compound that signals blood vessels to relax and widen. When those vessels open up, blood can flow more freely throughout the body. And that means more oxygen reaches your legs, more nutrients are delivered to the muscles, and less of that heavy, sluggish feeling sets in when you're out for a walk, or even just standing still for a while. But the benefits of niacin don't end with blood flow. It also works behind the scenes to support your cholesterol levels, lowering the bad kind, known as LDL, and increasing the good kind, HDL. Why does that matter for your legs? Because poor circulation is often caused by cholesterol building up in the arteries. Over time, this buildup narrows the vessels, restricting blood flow and raising the risk of serious complications. That's one reason why people with peripheral artery disease, or PAD, often report pain, numbness, or even changes in skin color in their legs and feet. Niacin can help lower this risk by improving your lipid profile, supporting cleaner arteries, and making blood vessels more flexible and less prone to blockages. Let me share the story of Irene. She's 82 and lives alone in upstate New York. For years, her biggest complaint was that her feet were always cold, sometimes even in the middle of summer. It wasn't just uncomfortable, it was worrisome. Her doctor eventually told her it was likely due to poor circulation, possibly the early stages of PAD. But despite taking medications, she wasn't seeing much improvement. Then, just a few months ago, she began taking a slow-release niacin supplement and made a few simple changes to her daily diet. It wasn't an instant transformation, but after about 6 weeks, she noticed something had shifted. Her legs no longer felt as heavy when she got out of bed in the morning. She could walk down to the end of her driveway and back without that familiar, nagging discomfort in her calves. And for the first time in years, she was able to sleep through the night without needing to wear socks just to keep her feet warm. That kind of subtle but meaningful change made a big difference in her quality of life. Now, a quick word of caution. Niacin isn't for everyone. In higher doses, it can cause a side effect called flushing, a warm, tingling sensation that causes the skin on your face, chest, or arms to turn red temporarily. While this reaction is generally harmless, it can be uncomfortable or even startling if you're not expecting it. That's why many seniors start with a low dose or opt for a time-released version of niacin. These formulations help distribute the effects gradually throughout the day, minimizing the intensity of the flush and making it easier on the body. It's also important to note that niacin may interact with certain medications, especially those used for cholesterol or blood pressure, so it's absolutely essential to talk to your doctor or pharmacist before adding it to your routine. What matters most here is the bigger picture. Your legs need healthy blood flow, plain and simple, and niacin is one of those nutrients that helps promote exactly that. This isn't about miracle pills or overnight fixes. It's about understanding how aging impacts your body and then responding with the right support. Support that empowers you to feel better, move more, and live with greater ease. Think of niacin as a quiet but reliable partner, one that not only supports your legs, but also benefits your heart, brain, and overall vascular system. It's a small addition that can help you feel stronger and more stable as the years go on. If you're still watching and this video has brought you value, I'd love to know you're here. Leave a comment with the number 4 below. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that button and turn on the bell icon so you won't miss any future videos. Your support truly helps us keep producing helpful, evidence-based content just for you, to inform and inspire you. Now let's shift our focus to number 5, vitamin C, also known as ascorbic acid. This is a vitamin almost every senior in America has heard of. It's familiar, it's common, and it's usually associated with immune support or fighting off the sniffles during cold and flu season. But here's what many people don't realize. Vitamin C is absolutely essential for circulation, particularly in the legs. As we get older, especially after the age of 70, our blood vessels tend to lose some of their flexibility. They stiffen, they narrow, and they become more fragile. That's where this humble vitamin starts to shine. Vitamin C plays a critical role in helping your body maintain the strength and elasticity of blood vessels, especially the ones responsible for delivering blood to your legs and feet. Why does that matter so much? Because your lower limbs are under constant pressure from walking, standing, and simply carrying the weight of your body throughout the day. Without enough vitamin C, your arteries, much like an old garden hose, can grow brittle, develop tiny cracks, or lose their natural ability to expand and contract. That leads to discomfort, slower circulation, and increased risk of swelling or even vascular damage. Vitamin C is also key to producing collagen, the structural protein that supports your arteries, skin, and connective tissues. When you have enough of it, your blood vessels are more resilient. They're better able to withstand the daily demands of circulation, and that translates into real benefits for your legs. You feel stronger, lighter, and less prone to cramping, soreness, or fatigue at the end of the day. But vitamin C does even more than that. It helps your body absorb iron, and that's a major deal, because iron is what allows your red blood cells to carry oxygen through the bloodstream. Without efficient oxygen transport, your muscles don't get the fuel they need. Your legs tire more quickly, and you may feel winded or weak, even with minimal effort. So, when you combine the collagen-boosting power of vitamin C with its support for oxygen delivery, you get a nutrient that's doing double duty to support healthy, pain-free movement in your lower body. Blood, your muscles, especially in your legs, will begin to feel tired, heavy, or even weak, sometimes after just a few minutes of activity. That sense of fatigue might sneak up on you during a short walk, climbing stairs, or even just standing at the kitchen counter. But by boosting your body's ability to absorb iron, vitamin C helps you use the oxygen you already have more efficiently, giving your lower body greater energy, improved endurance, and better overall performance. Let me share a story you might find familiar. There's a man named Harold, 79 years old, who lives in Minnesota. He used to be a mail carrier, so staying active was second nature to him. But about a year ago, he began experiencing a frustrating change. Every time he went out for his usual daily walk, his calves would cramp up badly. At first, he shrugged it off, assuming it was just one of the unavoidable parts of getting older. But his granddaughter, who's currently studying to become a nutritionist, suggested something he hadn't considered: his vitamin C levels. She encouraged him to get tested, and the results were surprising. Harold's vitamin C was much lower than expected for his age and activity level. He didn't do anything drastic. He simply started eating more vitamin C-rich foods, like oranges, bell peppers, and strawberries, and added a modest daily supplement to his routine. After just 3 months, Harold described the change in a way that really stuck with me. He said it felt like someone had oiled the pipes in his legs. The tightness and cramping eased, and he could walk longer, more comfortably, and without constantly needing to stop and rest. And here's the part that's truly encouraging. Unlike some vitamins that are difficult to get or come with complicated side effects, vitamin C is affordable, accessible, and gentle on the body. You'll find it in everyday foods: citrus fruits, red bell peppers, broccoli, strawberries, even humble potatoes. For those who prefer supplements, vitamin C is widely available, inexpensive, and well tolerated by most people. Just one word of caution: like anything, moderation is key. Megadoses of vitamin C can sometimes cause stomach discomfort or digestive issues. Most older adults do best with a consistent, moderate daily intake, either from whole foods or a supplement. So, if you've been dealing with symptoms of poor circulation, cold toes, aching calves, swelling around the ankles, don't overlook the possibility that your body may simply be asking for more of this essential, circulation-supporting nutrient. Essential vitamin. Sometimes better health doesn't come from a brand new medication or a complicated treatment plan. Sometimes it's about going back to the basics, and for many older adults, vitamin C is one of those foundational nutrients, a quiet helper that works behind the scenes to restore proper function, support smoother movement, and give your legs that second wind you didn't realize was possible. Let's wrap up with a few final thoughts. At this stage in life, it's easy to accept the idea that slowing down is simply part of aging. We tell ourselves, well, this is just what happens after 70. We chalk up fatigue, soreness, and stiffness to the passing of time. But here's the thing: what if that's not the full story? What if your legs don't actually have to feel so heavy? What if your steps don't have to feel uncertain or unstable? And what if you didn't have to give up the activities you love, walking in the park, gardening, dancing, just because the years have gone by? Because the truth is, there's still a lot of strength left in you. Often, all your body needs is the right kind of support, the nutrients it's been quietly asking for, but hasn't been receiving. Every vitamin we've covered in this video, vitamin K2, vitamin D3, vitamin B3, vitamin E, and vitamin C, is more than just a name printed on a label. These aren't trendy pills or one-size-fits-all solutions. They're tools. Biological tools your body uses daily to keep your blood flowing smoothly, to reduce stiffness, to transport oxygen to your muscles, and to maintain clear, flexible arteries. When you give your body what it needs, it responds, often in powerful, surprising ways. Your energy improves, your steps feel more confident, and those simple daily movements that used to feel like a struggle, they start to feel natural again. From turning into stone. These vitamins are not just supplements, they're small keys that unlock the very system responsible for keeping your legs strong, steady, and reliable. And once you begin giving your body the support it's been quietly craving, like so many other seniors have, something shifts. Walking stops feeling like a burden and starts to feel like freedom again. A freedom to move. A freedom to live more fully. And I want to say this as clearly as possible because I know some of you might be thinking, well, it's too late for me. But that simply isn't true. I've personally seen men and women in their late 70s, even in their 80s, make changes, simple, intentional changes, and experience real improvement. Less pain, more energy, better balance, a new sense of possibility. I remember Margaret. She's 82. For a while, she had stopped going to church because the steps leading into the building felt too risky. Her legs just didn't feel steady. But after just 3 months of following a vitamin plan very similar to the one we've outlined today, Margaret was back in her favorite pew every Sunday, standing tall and smiling with confidence. So if you've been hesitating, let this be your turning point. Today can be the start of a new chapter. You've just discovered 5 powerful, natural ways to improve circulation, regain strength in your legs, and take back control of your mobility. That knowledge belongs to you now, and no one can take it away. And the more you put it into practice, even one step at a time, the more your body will thank you. Thank you so much for spending your time with us today. We'd truly love to hear from you. So please leave a comment below and share one thing that stood out to you or one step you plan to take moving forward. Your voice matters, and reading your stories brings encouragement and meaning to this work. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who might benefit. Your support helps us keep creating valuable content that educates, empowers, and uplifts. Wishing you great health, deep happiness, and lasting peace. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We'll be here with more to support your journey.